Every American is familiar with the events that occurred on September 11th, 2001, but many of us have not heard of the event that happened shortly after. The mass chaos of 9/11 quickly covered up a biological attack that took place just a week later involving the United States Postal Service that led to the deaths of many postal workers and is still technically unsolved today. Welcome to Let's Be Briefed. I'm Sydney.
And I'm Sarah.
And this week we will be discussing the USPS Anthrax attacks.
Yeah, I did not know it was that soon after.
Right? That's why no one knows about it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I heard of like an anthrax scare like later in life, but I feel like I just didn't know it was like that soon. I mean, I was in like second grade, so
I was 5. I was in preschool.
Oh, yeah. So like what would we know? But
right. But I watched a Netflix documentary about this and they said that it got like so covered up because of 9/11.
Yeah. That's crazy.
So, 7 days after the terrorist attacks of September 11th, 2001, anonymous letters laced with deadly anthrax spores began arriving at media companies and congressional offices. Over the ensuing months, 5 people died from inhaling anthrax and 17 others were infected after exposure.
Wow. To media companies?
Yeah, like the news.
Right. Why are they sending it to the news? So they'd talk about it? But they didn't.
Know.
I get the congressional, but...
Right. They're like, duh, well, who wouldn't want to kill Congress?
Well, I mean, that's just, like, seems like more of an obvious target.
Yeah, but, like, unless you believe that the media is, like...
Yeah.
Bad.
Right. And just, like, a propaganda tool or something.
Yeah, which kind of is. Anyway.
Yeah.
So, I didn't know what anthrax was before this, if we're being honest, but it is an infectious disease caused by gram-positive rod-shaped bacteria known as Bacillus anthracis. It occurs naturally in soil and commonly affects domestic and wild animals around the world.
I didn't know that.
Neither did I.
I mean, I've only heard of anthrax. I didn't really know what it was. I didn't know it was a bacteria.
For some reason, I thought it was like ricin, like a poison, not a disease.
Right. I thought it was a poison and like made, like, you know, like cyanide or something. Like you have to make it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Now this is scarier.
I know. Biological warfare.
Yeah.
So, people can get sick with anthrax if they come into contact with infected animals or contaminated animal products, and it can cause severe illness in both humans and animals. And, like, inhalation is considered to be the most deadly form of anthrax, and infection usually develops within a week after exposure, but it can take up to 2 months.
Oh, wow.
Without treatment, only 10 to 15% of patients with inhalation anthrax survive, but with aggressive treatment, about 55% of patients survive.
Oh, that's crazy.
And I looked up, yeah, I know, like, imagine you don't know for a week.
Right.
Like, I don't even understand how they tied it back to these letters.
Well, I guess if they all got it and they touched it or whatever, or the person that opened it.
Yeah, but they would have had to, like, in my mind, they, like, opened these letters, started choking, coughing, and died. You know what I mean? Like, I thought this was, like, ricin. Like, I don't know. Not that I know what ricin, I don't know. Anyway. But I had to look up the symptoms, and it like, I would not know. I would not have known this. Like, I would just think I was getting sick.
Right.
Fever and chills, chest discomfort, shortness of breath, confusion or dizziness, cough, nausea, vomiting or stomach pains, headache, sweats, extreme tiredness and body aches. Like, I could have anthrax right now. I'm sick.
Right. Like, that's just
how
anything.
Do you know? I know.
Why does everything have to have all of those? Like, it's literally anything. And you wouldn't go to the doctor necessarily.
Unless you start, like, dying.
Yeah, or unless you, like, can't control your vomiting or something.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't go to the doctor at first.
No.
Unless, like, yeah, I really couldn't breathe or something. Like, some of these maybe I would, but, like, you don't always get all the symptoms.
Right.
So you just think it's a flu.
Yeah.
Wow.
So now we're going to go through the series of events that happened over the course of this whole situation. So, September 11th, 2001, terrorists hijacked 4 airplane jets and crashed them into the World Trade Center towers in New York City, the Pentagon in Virginia, and a field in rural Somerset County, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
A week later, on September 18th, the first letters containing anthrax are mailed.
Wow.
And it wasn't until October 4th that Bob Stevens of American Media in Florida is hospitalized with inhalation anthrax.
Can they, like, test your blood or something to know that you have anthrax? They must be able to. Yeah. Right. That's crazy. So, like, 3 weeks later-ish.
Yeah. And on October 5th, he died at age 63, and this is the first anthrax death in the United States in 25 years. I want to say it causes, if it touches your skin, it causes, like, lesions, too. So maybe that was part of it.
I thought I heard that.
Yeah.
Just in a day, he dies?
Yeah,
I mean, he could have been a little sick before that, yeah.
Right.
Wow.
On October 8th, anthrax is found in Boca Raton, Florida, in the offices of American Media, publisher of the National Enquirer, and the building was closed. But, like, how did they know that? I don't know how they knew that.
Well, that's 3 days after he dies, so...
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same company.
Yeah, it is. So that must be, like, he died and then they found it.
Right.
Who maybe would go after the National Enquirer?
I don't know.
All the media.
Right. I mean, how do they skew?
Maybe they said something they shouldn't have said. Something a little too true.
Oh.
On October 9th, more letters laced with anthrax are posted, and the FBI begins investigating the incidents. On October 12th, an NBC employee in New York City tests positive for anthrax poisoning, which I guess that's 3 days later, but...
Right, so they were sick, I guess, probably?
Probably before that.
Right, so NBC too.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then on October 15th, Senate Majority Leader Tom Dalshy of South Dakota.
I don't know.
Dash, I don't know. Tells reporters anthrax was found in his office.
Yeah, how do you just find it? Or, like, how would you know you found it? Maybe they started
searching. I probably could have researched this more too. Unless they looked at the letters and he had a similar one.
Yeah, that's true. If they know the letter that it's coming from.
Right. Because I would think that once they found anthrax, they'd, like, do an investigation. Like, if I went to the hospital and had anthrax, the CDC would do, like, a full investigation on everywhere I've been and everything that I've touched.
Right.
To figure out where it came from.
Yeah. And now they know it was letters, probably.
Yeah. So then they probably started looking at what was posted around the same time.
Right.
And on October 16th, the 7-month-old son of an ABC freelance producer tests positive for anthrax poisoning.
What?
And the baby developed a rash soon after visiting the network's Manhattan offices on September 28th.
Oh. So it like came in contact with the letter somehow? Like a baby?
Must have.
Like,
yeah, he must have. Like, if he's just sitting at a desk or something.
right, but not other people, or maybe other people, I don't know.
Maybe because the baby was like weakened immune system.
Right.
I don't know.
That's crazy.
And then on October 23rd, 2 postal workers from the Brentwood facility in Washington, D.C. are confirmed to have died from inhalation anthrax.
You skipped the 18th.
Oh. A CBS employee. On October 18th, a CBS employee and a New Jersey postal worker test positive for anthrax. This is like a lot of different exposures.
Right, yeah. Well, it makes sense a postal worker would get it.
Right.
But yeah, CBS now too, like ABC and
ABC, NBC, CBS,
yeah.
The National Enquirer.
Right, they're going after literally like everyone.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. And then the 2 Brentwood workers in Washington, D.C. died on the 23rd. And then on the 26th, U.S. State Department mailroom staffer is hospitalized with anthrax poisoning.
And now it's all quick because it's like
yeah.
Similar.
Well, because I feel like if people like there's only so much of a window. And,
right.
Like,
yeah.
There were earlier people, but now it's like a lot of them.
Right.
All at once.
Sad.
On October 28th, another New Jersey postal worker tests positive for anthrax. And on the 30th, another person from New Jersey becomes the 15th reported case of anthrax poisoning. 15 is a lot.
Yeah, that is a lot. I'd probably, like, if you can test for it, I would just test every postal employee in New Jersey,
Right.
I guess.
Yeah.
Because if you catch it early enough, right, you have a 55% chance.
Yeah.
So just test everyone.
Yeah. I don't know how cheap or easy that would be to do.
Right, yeah, I don't know. Or if there's like, I mean, if other people are already, like, the timing's correct for them to start developing it, so you would think that you could test it.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
And then some of these now are like, they don't really make sense because they're not necessarily connected in the same way that they were before. So on October 31st, Kathy Wynn, an employee of the Manhattan Eye, Ear, and Throat Hospital, dies from inhalation anthrax.
Oh. Yeah, that's weird.
But I wonder if someone would have come into the clinic and given it to her. But, like, how do you... Like, they would know if someone else had it. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
It would be traceable.
Yeah. And how would you die from inhaling it if a patient came in already having it? Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
And then all the way to November 21st. So there's 3 weeks in here.
Yeah.
Audley Lundgren, age 94, of Connecticut, becomes the 5th person to die from inhalation anthrax. And I'm like, what is she? Like, she's an old lady. What does she have to do with this?
Yeah. It's not related to anyone else or whatever?
Apparently not.
Oh.
And they had no leads on this until June 25th of 2002. When they searched the residence of Stephen Hatfill, a scientist who worked in the government's biodefense labs at Fort Detrick in Maryland. And in August, they named him a person of interest.
Okay.
And then again, nothing until December 2003, when the...
That's a long time. God.
Yeah. December 2003, the postal facility in Brentwood in Washington, D.C., opens again after more than